Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay.
Titania. All right. It's Titania Jordan. Hi everybody, welcome to Connect. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm here with Andy McKoski.
Hello.
Founder and CEO of Humrun.
Yes.
And give us your tagline.
No. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. You can't know.
So I'll ask again. So, and it's like when you go to the website, it's like things break and we fix them or something, right?
Yeah. When things break, we help you get them fixed faster.
When things break, we help you get them fixed faster. And what sort of things are breaking?
Well, Tatiana, I've been in the restaurant business since I was 15.
Okay.
So I'm going to age myself. And that's been.
Wait, you're like 25?
It's been over 30 years.
Okay.
There's a couple things that I've learned in the industry that are constant. One, guest service is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And two, things will happen on a daily basis that make serving the guest difficult. Mm-hmm. So through my career, we've identified those, and with technology being where it is, our goal is to utilize that technology to make sure that the guest leaves the restaurant with the best experience possible. And
so, you know, as a restaurant patron and fan, you know, you just take for granted that things work. Ice machines, ovens, all that stuff. How often are these things breaking?
Every day. Something that will impede your guest experience happens every day.
Wow.
Technology, for the most part, is a double-edged sword for the restaurateur. Mm-hmm. On one side, it provides us with the ability to do things faster. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, it provides customers with transparency and also the ability to do things faster, like review, find other restaurants. So the customer as a whole doesn't necessarily care why your beer isn't cold.
Right.
They just want cold beer.
I know that's right.
Springer Mountain chicken that's undercooked is just undercooked chicken. So everything from plumbing to signage to cooking equipment to credit card processing machines, there are things that break every day that potentially could hurt the guest experience and the brand equity of the restaurant that they're visiting.
It's huge. It's an unfortunate fact, but bad news and negative reviews travel way faster and way farther than positive and good ones. So you want to mitigate that as much as possible, which you do with Humrun.
That is the core underlying philosophy of Humrun.
Yeah. Is
to make sure that the people that are scheduled to handle the guest experience are there to do the guest experience instead of in an office calling a repair professional or trying to fix something themselves that they're not qualified for.
And so let's talk about your background experience in the restaurant industry. A lot of you watching out there have probably frequented some places that Andy is responsible for building up.
Yeah, so I started off in the restaurant business when I was 15, cutting cucumbers, washing dishes. Never really wanted to be in the restaurant business at that point in my life. Graduated from college, tending bar. My first job in Atlanta was at Johnny's Hideaway.
Yes! Yes! I know, right? All of you, I saw you there.
very prestigious.
Yes.
In 2006, I came back to Atlanta. I had the opportunity to partner with some friends of mine from college, and we began operating 10 Lizzies Cantina.
Another wonderful establishment.
It was. When we started that company, when I got involved with that company, we had 1 location and 8 employees. When I left that company in 2016, we had 12 locations and over 1,400 employees.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That was so many good people, so many good customers, such a great success story, still growing, and I wish those guys all the best luck. Through that growth period, I took a lot of the brunt of those situations, a lot of the fixes, a lot of the phone calls at 11:30 at night, a lot of the getting up at 5:30 in the morning. At one point we had a car drive through one of our buildings. There's a lot of situations that you don't plan for, that happen, that the customer doesn't care about.
No, they don't. And maybe as customers, we all need to collectively give people a break in the restaurant industry. I was a server in college. I worked at Dunwoody Tavern.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so.
Very good spot.
Yep, as well as Locos in Athens. Great fries, by the way. But yeah, we need to give those people a break. And obviously, if you are a restaurateur or a manager, and especially responsible for guest services, you need to know about Humrun. And so, is it an app you can download as well as a website you can visit? Like, tell us, how do we utilize what you're offering?
So the offering is designed to keep your business up and running, to level out the flows, keep those spikes from happening that disrupt guest service. What we've done is created a mobile application that is low cost, easy to use, really simple to implement, and easy to execute in the fact that it's a Angie's List plus Slack.
Ooh.
With an Uber component to it.
All the fun buzzwords.
That allows you to get things resolved, and that's the key word, resolved. In the time that would literally take you to pick up the phone and to make that initial phone call prior.
It's huge.
It can be.
Yeah. So we go to humrun.com.
Humrun.com.
Or download your app in the
App Store.
App Store, both Android and iOS.
No, unfortunately, right now we're only iOS.
That's okay. That's fine. There's no unfortunate about it. Like, guys need to get on iOS, so there's that. So we download your app, and then what is the cost?
The cost is really inexpensive. So for the restaurant, our cost ranges from $29.95 to $39.95 a month.
Okay.
Based on the number of locations.
Okay.
So as the number of locations go up, your price goes down.
Super reasonable.
Within each location, there is no minimum or maximum number of users. So if I own a restaurant in the city of Atlanta and I have 6 managers, then I pay $29.95 for the application. I get the job identification features, I get the documenting features, I get the communication features. I get the data capture on the back so I don't have to write anything in the red book anymore. And I get the payment and hiring features off of that as well, the Uber components. So. And
let's go through a use case. So I'm running Hal's.
It's a very nice restaurant.
I know, right? I'm in a steak mode right now. I'm running Hal's and something goes down. I call Humrun. What can I expect?
Well, you don't call Humrun.
Okay.
You open Humrun.
I open Humrun. See, that's where we are right now.
You click on the app.
Click on the app.
A page with 15 predetermined issue categories will come up, from refrigeration to cooking equipment to HVAC, pest control, emergency ice delivery, anything that you could possibly think of that would need your attention is there.
Yeah.
You hit the button. There's some categories that break it down so that you have better information later. Then that screen will take you to a custom job creation screen where you'll say, hot water's not working, men's bathroom. Very simple text. You hit a send button. It creates the job with a timestamp, a date stamp. You can take pictures of it. It tells you who created it. And it shares that job with your entire team, right, via push notification. So if I wanted to be Mr. Hal, or Hal Nowak, and I was at home, I wouldn't have to take a phone call at 11:30 at night. Now I get a message, I look at it, you've got it, but at least I know that it's going on.
Yeah.
The app then will direct you to either your preferred vendor for plumbing and hot water, and if that person isn't available, if they can't fix it when you want them to, it will identify the closest available plumbers that can fix your issue now.
Great.
It'll tell you what they're going to charge you and how far away they are.
Yes, yes, that sounds like a win.
When they accept, and when they accept, you can review their quotes, invoices, and payments all through the app and pay them through the app.
That's great. That's really, really great, much needed. Crazy it doesn't exist, but some of the best ideas are the ones that you're like, why didn't I think of that?
It is the restaurant industry as a whole, food tech, whatever the term is these days, isn't the fastest to move in technology. Partially because of our labor pool.
Yeah.
It's very transient. So the training that I would spend on you, in one of my restaurants, if I trained you for a year and you've got comfortable using this equipment, there's a good chance that you're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So the return on investment for technology is different than other industry sectors. It's harder to implement. And as a guest, I don't care whether you take my order with a pen and paper or with a point of sale system, just that you get it right and it's hot and good.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about some startup stuff. When did you launch Humrun?
Oh, Lord.
Officially.
Officially, Humrun was launched at the end of 2015.
Okay.
So that's when we went full-based app versus at one point in time we had a brick and mortar repair and maintenance company.
Wow.
It's called National Restaurant Service. It was an internal Tin Lizzies repair and maintenance company that grew to have roughly 125 customers in the Atlanta market. So it's amazing how many people are looking for good quality repair people. So the transition from that company to the application was pretty seamless. At the time Uber was taking off, it was very hot, it was very sexy, everybody wanted to move in that direction, on demand.
Yeah.
What we found after we launched though, is that the on-demand feature is not the most used feature of the application. We've done some really good beta testing with groups like Castellucci Hospitality Group, Dantana's, Ippolito's. We work with Chicken Salad Chicks and some Jimmy John's. They love the communication tools in there.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was very interesting. So as we've been developing this technology, that's moved the dates for us a little bit as we developed the portions of the technology that the customers found were the most important.
Which is why a lot of times I advise startups to, not go to market with V3. You go to market with MVP, minimum viable product, because you don't know. You are not your user, even if you have been at one point, and the data doesn't lie, and so the market will tell you what it wants. So specifically on the communication features, what do they like? What resonates with them?
Again, not to piggyback what a great piece of technology, but it's very similar to what Slack is pushing out there now. That closed loop, non-email, non-text messaging, a particular message about a particular topic to a particular group. So if the fryer is broken at Loco's in Buckhead, then the managers know that it's this fryer, it's broken. It lets us know when they received the message, that they received it, who responded, and what the next steps are. So that information, if it goes to accounting, right, to pay the invoice, they know everything that's been done across the entire chain without having to do any additional work.
Yeah, it's collaborative, it's real time, it's non-invasive, it works.
Yeah.
And as far as funding, you and I joked off camera about some things. Are you bootstrapping this? Are you taking investment right now? Are you in the middle of a round? Because some people may be watching who might want to invest if you are in that process.
Yeah, we have bootstrapped it up until this point. We have just recently are looking for our first round of funding.
Okay.
To go to market.
You hear that, people?
We have a complete product now. We have the restaurant side application and we have the service provider side application for the on-demand. Delayed, as most things occur in this space, which I've learned.
Yeah, not a big shocker there.
No, in the restaurant world, if your food is delayed 15 minutes, you get a free meal.
Yeah.
In the technology world, if your app's delayed 15 months, you don't get a free meal.
You still have to pay your developers.
You still have to pay your developers.
And you want to. We love developers.
Yeah.
We love developers. And so you're not just in the Atlanta market.
No.
Your technology, your infrastructure, it can be used nationwide.
It can be used nationwide. We currently have customers in Indianapolis, the Gulf Coast of Florida, Texas, Virginia. We're working with 3 partners right now: Performance Food Group, which is the 3rd largest food distributor in the country. We're working with a group called Dining Alliance, which is the largest buying group for independent restaurateurs. We're working with the GRA. And then there's a couple other pending partnerships that our goal is to get in front of as many restaurateurs as possible.
Great. And how big is your team?
There are 4 of us.
4 of you.
Yeah.
And are you looking to hire right now?
We're always looking to hire.
And what are you looking for? What's the best sort of skill set that could complement your existing team and future needs?
It's developers.
Developers, okay.
Always developers. So as we have a really, really good relationship with Big Nerd Ranch.
Okay.
They wrote the initial technology for the product.
Hey, Big Nerd.
Stephen Harmon, who is our CTO, was an ex-Big Nerd Ranch employee.
Wow.
But as we go to develop, we're going to be looking to hire internally. So probably an iOS developer, definitely an Android developer.
Yeah.
Again, that's not my skill set, but I have looked at the budgets and the headcounts.
Right? So we reach a lot of different people, anywhere from students in computer science and marketing to CIOs and CEOs and investors and people all over the globe, right? Because this is YouTube. So for people watching out there, how can we help support you, Andy? How can we help support the company Humrun? Like what can we do for you? How can we help you?
Just get the word out. It is really inexpensive for restaurants to use our application.
Great.
Less expensive than any other facility maintenance product that they would use. There are products out there. I have one restaurant in Great Beach, Florida now, and in doing our MVP, we call all of the technology companies and say, hey, look, I'm really into repair and maintenance. And the general answer that we get is, call us back when you get to 10 to 20 units. Which is great for the technology, not so great for the independent operator who wants to get to 10 to 20 units, doesn't have the money to hire a full-time employee to handle repair and maintenance, doesn't have the money to onboard a $1,000 to $2,000 technology solution to get there. So there's this weird gap in there. The more people that we touch, the more times that you walk into McDonald's on a road trip and the bathroom isn't working, introduce us.
Right. That's great. That's great. So for everybody watching, you need to know about Humrun, humrun.com, and on the iOS App Store, download the Humrun app. Andy McKoski, is there anything else that you want to tell everybody watching while you have this platform? No pressure.
Thanks.
No pressure at all.
Keep eating out.
Keep eating out. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
And what about any sort of business or life nugget? Because I'm not going to throw you under the bus in terms of your age, but you did mention you'd been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And so you probably learned a few lessons, both the easy way and the hard way. So is there any sort of pain you can save those people watching right now to avoid any sort of thing you've been through?
Be nice to the people that are selling things to you, because at some point in time you may need to sell something to them. Being in the restaurant business, you're so used to people coming to you, and there is a control piece.
Yeah.
It's very easy to hide behind 1.5 feet of mahogany bar and not be interested. This side, on the technology side, whether it be raising money or something, it's a lot more difficult, a lot more stressful. So just be nice.
I love that. I think that's a message that we all need to hear, especially in this day and age with the craziness that is going on. Just be nice.
And I probably wasn't always the nicest when I
Well,
was on that side, but I'm learning.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
You've probably come a long way, and we're thankful for you and what you're doing, and it's just really cool. You know, startups aren't easy, so more power to you, and you're in a great city, great community, and we all can't wait to rally around you and help you. So thank you so much for being here and telling us about Humrun.
Thanks for having me.